Okay, so Daredevil is a highly praised show by basically everyone. And then in season 3, it got canceled. But now, like, 8 years later, I think, there's Daredevil Born Again, which is basically the fourth season, but went through troubles. So, like, half of it is sort of a semi reboot, then the other half is very loyal to the original. But, in my opinion, Daredevil Born Again has continued the streak of Daredevil failing to give me a single good episode. Or a single really good episode. Because they only give me great episodes. Absolute peak. Yeah, I love this show. I mean, Daredevil is already the greatest comic book show of all time, with season 3 basically being a masterpiece. And, like, yeah, I would say that I think Daredevil Born Again lives up to the hype of the original show. While, and yeah, while I don't think it's as good as season 1 and 3, you can make an argument that's better than season 2, and I may agree. But if you make a good argument that season 2 is better, I'd also probably agree. I think it's flip-floppy. I both give them probably closer to like a 9.5, while the other one's a 10 out of 10. If I could give season 3 an 11 out of 10, I would. Season 3 is mind-boggling good. But yeah. So what really pushes it to be at the quality of the last 3 seasons of Daredevil is obviously the last 2 episodes. And while I do really, really love the first 7 episodes of the series, the last 2, episode 8 and 9, what is it called? Isle of Joy and Straight to Hell, those are definitely the best episodes of the season and should be praised. When I watched those episodes, I felt like I was watching episodes like from season 1 or season 3, or especially in the finale, the peaks of season 2. They're really, really good. Actually, I'd probably say that the finale, I maybe give it maybe a better rating, or just as good as a rating from the best episode in season 2, which in my opinion was 7 Minutes in Heaven, where Punisher just went and murdered like a bunch of people to get to this one guy in the prison. I also think it's better than Penny and Dime and New York's Finest. Although it could be iffy if it's better than 7 Minutes Heaven, because that episode I'd also probably give a 10 out of 10. But yeah, I'd give the last 2 episodes of the series 10 out of 10. I'd probably say Isle of Joy is better than any episodes from season 2, at the same level as Daredevil or the season 1 finale, but probably not as good as any episode or any 10 out of 10 episode from season 3. But that's my opinion. Anyways, I really do love it, but personally, I think other episodes need to get praised. Episode 6 is really great. I really like how Muse was in that episode. Well, yes, episode 7 they wasted him, and yes, I don't think episode 7 is a bad episode. I think it's still a great episode. While sure, it didn't exactly do Muse too well, the time he was a villain was still pretty good, and yeah, they just sort of come off right after development, but you can't really blame it. I mean, you can blame it on them, but it's the pre-overhauled stuff. And yeah, that's really what stopped this season at being the same level in season 1 and 3, is because of the pre-overhaul. While I do like a good chunk of the pre-overhaul, I like the White Tiger, that whole stuff. I like Muse for the time he was a villain. Yeah, I do like some of the storylines, but the overhaul stuff is just way better. Like, the best part from episode 1 is the overhaul, the 10 minutes of overhaul with Karen and Foggy and Bullseye. But yeah. And that is definitely the biggest problem with the season, which is why I think season 2 has potential to be at the same level as season 3 if we're going off the pre-overhaul or post-overhaul stuff from this season, because it was really great. So I think since season 2 will be technically all the overhaul team, that will I think that has a chance to be better than season 1. Maybe not as good as season 3. I don't expect it to be as good as season 3, but it has a chance, especially with Karen coming back, being hopefully a main character again, and Punisher being back. Or no, maybe he'll just be in his special. But anyways, yeah. And talking about the cast, I brought up Karen. She's good in the 2 episodes she's in. Punisher's good in the final. And yeah, that's sort of all the original characters other than Vanessa, Fisk, and Matt. And that's sort of it. His new law partner, Kirsten McDuffie, I think her name is. I could be wrong, but I think that's her name. She's fine. She's a good character in some parts, and she's just, I don't think she has all that much to do. But yeah. Sherry, I think, is the, like, detective dude. He's not that bad. I'm fine with him. Heather, I was fine with her for most of the season. I thought it was a cool idea to have the Fisks have therapy. Or I thought it'd be nice to see how that would affect Matt, since his girlfriend is doing the therapy. But I think what really ruined her is the line, Daredevil didn't save me, I saved me. You're not the Flash, Barry. We are. It gives me that vibes. Then, oh god, what was it? Oh yeah, Daredevil and Muse, they're like all the same. When she compared Daredevil and Muse, Daredevil, the guy who never killed someone and saved the city multiple times. Obviously, I don't think she knows that. But comparing him to Muse, who she knows has killed 60 people at a minimum, it is crazy. But yeah, speaking of killing people, actually, wait, I'm gonna talk about that later. But yeah, going back on characters, I think the best new characters are most definitely the one from Fist died. I like Daniel as a character. I like his advisor. I forget her name, and the detective or colonel. I forget what his thing is, but Gallo, Commissioner Gallo. That's him. He's good. And Buck. I like all the characters in that side. But yeah, Commissioner Gallo does not get the best ending. People are talking about how brutal Invincible is. I'm watching Invincible, and I've seen like all the gruesome, bloody, gory clips, or I know of it. And I was thinking, because I'm like, Daredevil, I like the gore and how it works. And like, oh, well, it's not really as bad as Invincible, but it's really gory because it's live action and you get to feel it more. That's what I was going to say. My opinion's changed. The death of Commissioner Gallo is basically Red Rush being killed. But in live action, and you see the head being crushed. Yeah, I forget if Red Rush actually you see his head being crushed. But you do here. I expected him to like fade away and see blood on his hands and blood on the floor and stuff like that. Just like the idea, sort of like how they did the door scene, where it's like you don't see it happening. Obviously, you don't, but you see the blood and stuff on the floor and you hear the noises and stuff like that. Nope. That's definitely the most gruesome death in the MCU ever. But yeah. Anyways, speaking of the guy who killed him in Kingpin, he's back again to have another great villain role. Yes, I think if they use him as the main villain for season 2 of Daredevil Born Again, it won't work out that well. Mainly because this will be the 4th season where Kingpin is the villain. And personally, I think that's enough. Like, how many more times can you defeat Kingpin other than I put him in jail, he escapes. I put him in jail, he escapes. Because you just want to keep this character. I think eventually he needs to die. I think, sure, you can have him finish his mayor storyline in season 2, then have an appearance in, I guess, Spider-Man 4, if it's grounded. Please say it's grounded. And then get rid of the character. He's appeared so much as the villain. If we follow that route, that's 5 times being the main villain. That's more than Thanos. It's more than Doctor Doom will be. But, yeah, I don't think he should be the main villain. I just don't think he should keep on being the main villain for Daredevil. He has other villains. Although, to be fair, they did kind of get rid of one of his big guys in Muse. But come on, just... Yeah, I feel like if they do it for after season 2 of Daredevil Born Again, in Kingpin being the villain, I won't really be that interested, as you can't just have him be the villain for every season. But yeah, that's my opinion. I like his relationship with Vanessa and how they have to grow it back into what it was in the Netflix series. I think that's an interesting idea. And I think the Adam storyline was pretty cool. And I've seen him in therapy. At first, it wasn't like my favorite thing. But honestly, it gave her some good scenes. So, yeah. Bullseye was a good villain. Although it did definitely give way to the most controversial thing in the season, in Foggy's death, which, yes, I don't exactly like, per se. Like, I'm mixed on it. I think they did it fine. I think they could have done better in this season, but pre-overhaul, again. But he appears in season 2, so I don't know what's happening. But yeah. I think Bullseye's a good villain, though, especially in episode 8 with, I just want to say something. Episode 8 was beautifully shot, especially in the scenes where it's blue and the ball. That was all beautiful, in my opinion. But yeah. And then episode 9, we got Punisher and Matt back again, although I feel like you could have seen more of Bullseye. But yeah, I'm hyped for next season, especially since they made it that Mayor Fisk is now Mayor Kingpin, and that's really cool. So, yeah. If you just want my review for Daredevil Born Again, this is it. I'll get probably closer, like an 8.5, 8.6. No, 9.5, 9.6. Something in that range. So, bye. Subscribe if you want that. But, now I'm just going to give a short opinion on the final Thunderbolts trailer and Fantastic Four trailer, because I don't want to make 2 separate videos on that, and I just want to mention it because I just saw them and they're great. I love them so much. I'm so hyped for Fantastic Four, and I'm really excited for Thunderbolts, especially since it comes out in 2 weeks. I love the idea of Thunderbolts and the trailers are so good. Anyways, yeah. Bye.